Good morning students, welcome to next class of linear control system. In the previous class we studied what is feedback, what are the types of feedbacks are there, what is the transfer function of positive feedback, negative feedback, and we have seen the differences also between positive feedback and negative feedback. Okay. In today's class we will see one problem related to inverse Laplace transformation technique. Then we will go to we'll study some important terms with respect to transfer function, what is pole, what is zero, what is characteristic equation. Okay. So we'll start one simple problem, we'll take one simple problem on inverse Laplace transformation technique, so that we can understand in a better way how to apply the Laplace transformation technique, right. So in the problem is given t of t is equal to e raised to minus 5t and he has given r of t is equal to 2 and he asked you to find out c of t. Okay. So in this problem he has given t of t value, then he has given r of t, he asked you to find out c of t. C of t means in terms of t, it means the given we have to find our result should be in time domain. Okay. All values he has given in time domain, and answer also we need to get in the time domain. If it was in frequency domain, if it was t of s, it was r of s, using transfer function formula output by input we would have calculated c of s very easily. But in time domain we don't have any formula like transfer function. So for that what we have to do, first we need to find the transfer function values, then if we take inverse transformation then we will get c of t. So let us see how to solve the problem. First we need to write the transfer function formula. T of s is equal to c of s divided by r of s. If we take inverse of c of s we will get c of t. So before that t of s, r of s we need to find out. So t of s, how to find out t of s? T of s is equal to Laplace transformation of t of t. Okay. So here what is the value of t of t? E raised to minus st. So this will be your Laplace transformation of e raised to minus 5t, and you know Laplace transform e raised to minus 5t is how much? 1 divided by s plus 5. This is the Laplace transformation of e raised to 5t. Similarly, r of s can be identified like r of t has given 2. What is the inverse? What is the Laplace transformation of 2? You already know Laplace transformation of constant is 1 by s. If 1 is 1 by s, Laplace transform of 2 is 2 by s. So here 2 is a 2 by s. So it will be 2 by s. Now use these two equations in transfer function. Before that, write this transfer function formula in terms of c of s. Write that in terms of c of s. So c of s is equal to t of s into r of s. You know the value of t of s. What is the value of t of s? 1 divided by s plus 5. So 1 divided by s plus 5. What is the value of r of s? 2 by s. So this is 2 by s. So what you are going to get here? 2 divided by s into s plus 5. Right? 2 divided by s into s plus 5. Now c of s, if we want c of t here, we have to apply inverse Laplace transformation. Before that, if the given equation is in this form, and if you want to apply the inverse Laplace transformation technique, we know we have to use partial fraction. So use the partial fraction method here. You already know that method. Write this equation in partial fraction method. A divided by s plus b divided by s plus 5. If you solve this using partial fraction, you will be getting the values of a as 0.4 and value of b will be 0.4. Now substitute these two values in the given equation. C of s is equal to 0.4 divided by s plus 0.4 divided by s plus 5. Now we have to apply inverse Laplace transformation. Apply inverse Laplace transformation technique to this. What you are going to get? Inverse Laplace of c of s is c of t, and it is equal to 0.4. 1 by s inverse Laplace is 1. Okay. Then plus 0.4 and inverse Laplace of s plus 5 is e raised to minus 5t. So this is the required answer in c of t. So what he has asked? C of t. So So we have found out C of t. This is how we have to solve the problem of solve the problem, any given problem, using Laplace transformation technique as well as transfer function. Whenever any problem is given to you, first see the problem, go through the problem very carefully and try to understand what is given, what needs to be calculated, and what are the formulas we need to remember, and what is the shortcut. Those all we have to analyze, then we have to solve the problem. It is very easy if we go in this way to solve the problem, right? Now next next, one more important topic we are going to study in this unit is with respect to transfer function only. There are some terms we need to understand very well with respect to transfer function. What is pole of a transfer function? What is zero of a transfer function? What is the characteristic equation of a transfer function? What is S-plane? How to represent poles, zeros on the S-plane? What is exactly S-plane consists of? Those all we will study here. Okay. So all these we will be studying with respect to one transfer function. We will take one transfer function equation. With reference to that, we will study these points one by one. Consider one simple equation I am writing here. So transfer function TF, transfer function is equal to S plus 2 divided by S into S plus 3. Okay. With respect to this transfer function, we will define what is root, we will define what is zero, we will define what is pole, then we will define what is S-plane. Right. These four terms we will see with respect to this given transfer function. Roots, so the given function is in numerator, this part is numerator, this part is denominator, right? Write all the numerator part to 0, then denominator part, equate the numerator part to 0 and equate the denominator part to 0. Then what are the values of the S you are going to get? Those represents the roots of that equation. Okay, to find the roots of any equation, write all the numerator values, equate all the numerator values to 0 and equate all the denominator values to 0. Then what are the values of S you are going to get? Those values represents the roots of that equation. See here. Here numerator is having S plus 2. Right? Equate that S plus 2 to 0. Then what is the value of S you are going to get here? S is equal to minus 2. So S is equal to minus 2 is the root of numerator. Okay. Then in the denominator part you see S into S plus 3 is equal to 0. So here what is the value of S? S is equal to 0 and S is equal to minus 3. So denominator is having two roots at S is equal to 0 and S is equal to minus 3. This is how we have to identify the roots. So this is how we define the roots. Equate the numerator terms to 0, equate the denominator terms to 0, and what are the values of the S you are going to get after that? Those represent the roots of that equation. Now let us come to zeros. What do you mean by 0? 0 means the roots of the numerator are called as 0. Okay. So here how many roots are there for the 0? How many roots are there in the numerator part? Only one root is there at S is equal to minus 2. So this represents 0. Zeros, okay, zeros and poles. So roots of the numerator are called as zeros. So here S is equal to minus 2 is nothing but 0. Roots of the zeros are called as, roots of the numerators are called as zeros. Now similarly poles are defined as roots of the denominator. Roots of the denominator are called as poles. Here, how many roots are there at the denominator? Two roots. One at S is equal to 0, another at S is equal to minus 3. So poles are defined as the roots of the denominators. So poles are nothing but S is equal to 0 and minus 3. Understood? What is 0? What is pole? Roots of the numerators are called as zeros. Roots of the denominators are called as poles. Roots of the zeros are called as Roots of the numerators are called as zeros, roots of the denominators are called as poles. Okay, this is about poles and zeros and roots. Then next is one more important point is characteristic equation. This first will cover characteristic equation, then we'll see what is S-plane. Okay. So characteristic equation is an equation which is obtained by equating denominator of the transfer function to 0. Then only it is called as characteristic equation of that transfer function. What is the meaning? What is the definition of characteristic equation? If we equate the denominator to the 0, then it is called as characteristic equation. Here denominator is having the equation s into s plus 3. If we equate that to 0, then this equation is called as characteristic equation. This equation represents characteristic equation. So characteristic equation is a equation which is obtained by equating the denominator of the transfer function to 0. Then it is called as transfer function of, then it is called characteristic equation of that function. Okay, any denominator equation, if you equate that with 0, you are going to get the characteristic equation. Then next, what is S-plane? This is important. What is S-plane? The purpose of using Laplace transform is to represent the time domain into frequency domain, and transfer function, with the help of transfer function only we design the system. And when we talk everything we are using in Laplace transformation, so all the values, all the parameters we have to show in the S domain only. So for that we will be having one plane, S-plane. How to represent that S-plane, how it looks like? So representation of S-plane is like this. So this is the representation of S-plane. This is the representation of S-plane. We will be having a real part, we will be having imaginary part. So this is imaginary part, this is real part. This complete is called as S-plane, right? So this is S-plane. Here we will be having positive values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we will be having negative values, real values, right? So on this axis we will be showing imaginary values. What are the values which are there in terms of I and j? So this is imaginary axis, this is real axis, positive, negative, positive imaginary, negative imaginary. Now how to represent, this is about S-plane, how to represent poles and zeros on the S-plane, that we will see with the help of one small example. See here, how to represent poles and zeros on the S-plane. This is very important concept from future unit point of view. We have two units, third, fourth unit, where we see root locus and Bode plots. To solve those problems, we need to have clear idea about poles and zeros. Okay, how to represent them on the S-plane. If you understand this thoroughly, then solving the problems of root locus and Bode plots becomes very easy, right? S transfer function is equal to S plus 2 transfer function is equal to S plus 2 divided by S into S square plus 2S plus 2 into S square plus 7S plus 12. So this is the given transfer function, and we need to draw the S-plane of the given transfer function. To draw the S-plane, we should know what is pole, we should know the poles, zeros of that given transfer function. Then only we are able to draw the S-plane. So first, let us find out poles and zeros. How to find out poles and zeros? Here. Before that, write the equation in simplification form. The given equation can be written as S plus 2 and S into S square plus 2S plus 2. You already know how to divide the given equation in two forms. Okay, this is 7. We have to divide the equation in such a way that if we add both the terms, we should get middle term. If you multiply, we should get last term, third equation, third coefficient. So 4 plus 3, if we add 4 plus 3, we will get 7. If we multiply, we will get 12. So this equation can be written as s plus 4 into s plus 3. This equation can be written like this also, s plus 4 into s plus 3. You already know this. So many times you have did in mathematics. Now what are the after that s plus 2 divided by s into, how to write this equation? This equation we cannot write in this form because 1 into 1 you cannot get 2. If you add 1 and 1 you will get 2, but you cannot get third coefficient. So to find the roots of such equations we have to use one formula, minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, to find the roots of the quadratic equation. That formula we have to use. So x is equal to minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So using this formula find the roots of this. Root of this is 0, root of this is minus 4, root of this is minus 3, root of this is minus 2. But how to find the root of this equation? Using this only. So that is why we are using this formula. Minus b is minus 2 plus or minus, this is 4 minus 8 divided by 2. 2 get cancels. What remains? Minus 1 plus or minus. If anything, if you are having minus value inside the root, that defines imaginary value. Okay, minus 1 plus or minus j. The answer of this you will get minus 1 plus or minus j. So the roots of this equation is minus 1 plus or minus j. Now write down the number of zeros and poles present in the equation. How many zeros are there at s? Zeros at s is equal to minus 2. Only 1 0 is there. And number of poles, how many number of poles are there? Poles at s is equal to 0, then minus 1 plus or minus j, then at s is equal to minus 4, then minus 3. These are the number of the poles and these are the number of the zeros which are present in the given transform function. Using these, let us draw the s plane. So to draw the s plane, first you draw this s plane, real and imaginary. Then how many zeros are there? S is equal to minus 2. At s is equal to minus 2, we have 1 0. Minus 2 means this side, mark here and you represent it with 0. 0 represents zeros. If you represent with circle, circle represents the zeros. Okay. Now represent the poles. Mark the poles on the s plane. At s equal to 0 you have 1 pole. At s equal to 0 you have 1 pole. At s is equal to minus 1. This I will come to later. At s is equal to minus 3 you have 1 pole. At s is equal to minus 4 also you have 1 pole. Poles are denoted with cross marks. Where identify the poles and represent them with the cross mark. So zeros are represented with cross mark. Poles are represented with cross mark and zeros are represented with circle. Here I have to draw the small circle, not that much big. So this is circle represents zeros, cross mark represents poles. Now how to represent this? This is also pole. So minus 1. So minus 1 here, mark this, minus 1 plus j. So this is imaginary axis. So plus j means this is plus j and this is minus j, this is minus j, this is plus j. Now you draw one line like this, like this. So this is one imaginary pole. This is how we have to draw the poles of the imaginaries. Minus 1 plus j, minus 1 minus j. This is how we have to represent the poles and zeros on the s plane with the help of the given transfer function. Understood? How to draw the s plane using the transfer function? Whenever transfer function is given, write the characteristic equation of that, then write down the roots of that equation, then write down the poles, number of poles present, then write down the number of zeros present. Using those, mark on the s plane. Poles are represented with cross mark, zeros are represented with circle. In this way we have to draw the s plane. Then we'll see two more examples with respect to transfer function, so that we can get complete idea about the transfer function problems. Transfer function problems are solved using Laplace transformation, We need Laplace transformation to solve the transfer function problems. So given d square y of t divided by dt square plus 3 into d y of t divided by dt plus 11 y of t is equal to 5 x of t. Find the transfer. This is the problem given, and here he asks you to find the transfer function of this. So how to find the transfer function? What is the formula of transfer function? Transfer function is given by t of s is equal to c of s divided by r of s. Okay. So transfer function will be in always s domain. So to find the transfer function, we have to apply the Laplace transform to this given problem, right? So how to apply Laplace transformation? D square means s square, you already know this. S square in the previous class we studied. S square into y of s plus 3 into s into y of s plus 11 into y of s is equal to 5 into x of s, right? Now take y of s common. Y of s square plus 3s plus 11 is equal to 5 into x of s. Now what is the formula for transfer function? Write this given equation in terms of output by input. So here output is y of s, input is x of s, which is equal to 5 divided by s square plus 3s plus 11. So this is the given transfer function of the given problem. In this way we have to solve the problems. Now we will go in the reverse. If transfer function is given, how to find the differential equation for the same? That we'll see here. If the transfer function is given, how to go in the reverse? So c of s divided by r of s is equal to (5) divided by s square. Same problem I am taking in terms of c of s and r of s I am writing instead of y of s by x of s square plus 3s plus 11. So how to do that? Do the cross multiplication. C of s into s square plus 3s plus 11, which is equal to 5 into r of s. After doing the cross multiplication, we have to simplify the equation in this. Multiply this complete equation with c of s. S square into c of s plus 3s into c of s plus 11 c of s is equal to 5 r of s. Now replace s by d by dt. We have to replace this s with d by dt and c of s by c of t and r of s by r of t. R of s by r of t. We have to replace the equation. After replacing this, what is the equation we are going to get? In place of s, d by dt, s square is there. So d square by dt square, c of s is c of t into c of t plus 3 into d by dt of c of t plus 11 into c of t is equal to 5 into r of t. This is how we have to write the given transfer function into differential equation. They may give any problem. They may give transfer function and ask you to write the differential equation of this transfer function. Then they will give differential equation and ask you to write the transfer function of the given differential equation. In this way, we have to solve the problems one by one. If you know the basic concept thoroughly, you can easily solve the problems. With this, we completed what is transfer function, what is Laplace transformation, how to solve the problems using Laplace transformation and transformation function technique, what is open loop, what is closed loop, what is feedback, what is positive feedback, what is negative feedback, what are the poles, what are the zeros, how to represent them in S-plane. Okay. I hope everybody understood. With this, I will be concluding today's session. We'll meet in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye.